What is China up to? Have they sent warships into Taiwanese waters, and are they going to do anything with them?
Well, the Chinese have sent naval and air forces around the island of Taiwan to conduct military exercises, which will happen now that Pelosi has left Taiwan. It is a show of force. I think we should expect more activities to happen. I don't think this is it. There will be more punishment that the Chinese government expects to impose, particularly on Taiwan.
And do you think this is just a strong message to the world saying stay out of our business and stay out of Taiwan? Or do you think they could potentially escalate?
I think at this stage, they will want to keep it under control. The exercises are designed to show that if in the future the Chinese government wants to impose a full blockade of Taiwan, they have demonstrated that they have the capacity to do so, but they are not actually imposing it at this stage. So it's a clear warning, back off from Taiwan or else face the anger of the Chinese government.
I mean, the rhetoric coming from Beijing has been very clear, hasn't it? They believe Taiwan belongs to them. They have been making reference in their statements to the Chinese Civil War and saying that they want to reclaim that territory. So what is stopping them from actually doing this? And is America's threats, is America sending Nancy Pelosi over there going to be enough to hold them at bay?
Well, first of all, the United States did not send Nancy Pelosi to Taiwan. Nancy Pelosi went to Taiwan in spite of the wishes of the Biden administration, which would prefer not to have a confrontation with China at this point. The Chinese government's narrative on Taiwan is a very interesting one. In reality is that between the 1920s and the 1940s, the strongest advocate that Taiwan should be an independent country was the Communist Party of China. But then this is the part of history that Xi Jinping does not allow anybody to mention in China any longer, because he has decided that taking Taiwan is part of the China dream of national rejuvenation. So it will have to happen before Xi Jinping hands over power to anybody else, or indeed before he dies.
I mean, if China did indeed make a move, what would the world and what could the world do? I mean, I'd imagine that President Xi is sitting back and looking at what's going on in Ukraine and seeing that, yes, Russia's really bogged down there, but the West, other than sending weapons to Ukraine, isn't intervening, can't really intervene, and Putin's still plugging away. I mean, this must surely send a message to Xi that the same could well be the case if he were to put boots on the ground in Taiwan.
Well, the calculation on Taiwan is rather different from Ukraine. There is an American law, the Taiwan Relations Act of 1979, which requires the administration of the day to consult Congress and take appropriate actions in response if Taiwan's status were to be changed against the will of the people of Taiwan. So if China uses force against Taiwan, the US government, with the support of the Congress, will militarily interfere. So China already takes that into account, and that's why they haven't done anything militarily against Taiwan so far, because they will have to not only be able to overwhelm Taiwan's defense forces, they will also have to be either able to deter the United States from interfering or to defeat the Americans if they do interfere.